Welcome back to Chats with CAS, episode 38. First, we begin by making sure everyone has their hot dogs ready.
Ready.
Now that's established, let's dive in. You are tuning in today to hear us talk about the impact of various leadership styles that we collectively have encountered and what leaders we hope to become in the future.
We have all had negative leaders in our lives, so let's talk about it.
So we wanted to start with talking about our early learning experiences, something that Shalene and I have both experienced an autocratic and pace-setting leader.
And with that is, I experienced like the working to the bone aspect of
Same here.
I had to do everything.
And there is a lot to do in that field. Like to say that role has many roles within it, and it being an educator, but to have a leader that understands that and supports you through those things. And I know for myself, it was during pandemic and there was a lot of high stress.
Yeah.
But to not have that support during that time and to feel like I was not valued but used almost.
Yeah. And what kind of did it for me was anytime I tried to implement something, it was basically like the concept of tough cookies. I'm not gonna help you.
Yeah, they were very much like it's their way or the highway.
Yeah, literally. And I'm like, all right, peace out. At the end of my 5 months, I left.
It kind of sums up for the early learning. At least it's given us, we view that sector differently. I know for myself it's changed, but it doesn't set a nice picture for entering the field when that happens.
No, definitely not.
And so Lexi and I have also experienced something similar, which was pace setting, but in terms of it made us feel like we didn't belong.
Yes, it was very high standards. Basically, you had to be like a type A student. You didn't have any other choice on how you fit in, and you couldn't change to be type A student because you didn't have the ability to at that time. We were scared to communicate because just that feeling of, okay, I don't belong in this space and like they're not going to listen to me.
Like it doesn't fit their frame of mind.
The expectations were way too high.
Yeah, and it was hard to meet them, but also the guidance, like getting that feedback of like, how could I have done better was also not clear.
Yeah.
As a leader, it's something where we would have hoped to have more clarity on how to get better, but it was very much like, you're not where I thought you guys would be.
Getting no help to get there.
Yeah.
No like guidance at all,
Exactly.
And I know the experience you guys are talking about, and it's interesting because obviously she's not in the field of early learning. She's more in the community organizations aspect.
Yeah.
But we focused so much on the 4 foundations and the fact that like belonging is such a key piece, and you guys didn't feel that. Obviously,
She
you're not gonna
more cared about teaching us and not actually like putting anything into practice.
And
like,
I wouldn't
felt
even
like we were
say
being
it was
lectured
like,
at.
lectured.
It felt like university
Oh,
where
yeah.
there was no like two-way communication at all and no relationship at all.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I was ever
I think
talked to her.
you said like you felt like you had
too
to
scared.
sit and listen.
Yeah.
Felt very
You listen and you leave.
which goes against a lot of what we're trying to build in like the education system. Like we're trying to create a shift here. So
Well, now it's time for some sunshine. So let's talk about the positives.
let's do it.
So for all of us, we had coaching leadership style as one of our main positive experiences.
Yeah.
And for myself personally, this leadership person in my life, she was amazing. And she still is amazing, but she's always been there, like supporting me through each step. And she's like, come on, you can do this. You got this. You're there. Like, and it was like that structure of like each step of the way. She like didn't necessarily like hold my hand in that aspect, but it was like cheering.
Big checkpoints for you. Almost,
and
right?
she's like
just
always,
try this, tell me how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Always just cheering me on in that aspect, which definitely like helped me a lot and has continued helping me in my academics. I'm very, very thankful for that.
Yeah, I love that kind of leader. It's a great leader, and I've had something similar, and I still think about them too. It was like in a music context, and what they did was they told us try this, and they helped us in moments of doubt. So when we were thinking I cannot do that, they really lifted us up.
I can also relate with that. I think mostly with my parents, but like I feel like that's because it's their job to kind of be like encouraging you along the way. Because as you get older, I feel like that would be my experience about having like that constant support and constant like you can do this, like kind of what you were saying. I feel like that's the best example that I have that could relate to that.
That's awesome though, because not everyone gets that experience from their parents, right? And so when you get that, like
it's very like encouraging, uplifting to know, okay, like they will have my back no matter what, because they're my family also.
And that's it. Sometimes, just having not like it's not holding someone's hand, but knowing that if you fall, I'm here to catch you.
Yeah.
I'm here to bring you back up.
Yeah, I think it's definitely as you get older, then it has led into that where it's like, yes, they were holding my hand, now they're gonna be behind me, but like I'm being my own person now.
They're
letting me go,
clipping the wings and letting you fly.
Clipping the wings,
letting you fly.
on the wind.
Cam and I also shared the aspect of a democratic leader in a positive way, and this was through a few different ways. Like for me personally, it was shown this past summer for my internship, and there was a lot of creative freedom. I truly believe I'm a very creative person, and so I was honored to have the ability to keep pursuing that and keep going through that. So that was something I was very, very thankful for. And also like the equals, and I know you shared that as well, Cam.
Well, with my current place of work, that's like even creating democracy with children. It's awesome. But in terms of the team members, I came in and there's no such thing as head teacher. It is we are equals. Even if someone has
awesome.
experience, we value everyone's experiences.
Yeah.
You bring something to the table. So every idea you have, it's like, yeah, let's try it. Mm-hmm. Because even like contexts change over time. Like to say that something worked in the past and like we should keep doing it this way doesn't work for the field. Like we need to keep thinking of like how does it shift over time because things change.
How are we adapting?
How are we adapting?
Yeah.
And I like that concept. I think it's a skill that we need as a leader.
And that's amazing that you're in a space where you went from such a negative situation in the early learning field to such a now positive space where I'm
really glad I stuck it out.
Mind.
Yeah, because this is what I wanted it to be.
That's awesome.
Like we want a place to belong. I think we talk about belonging a lot, and that place really makes me feel that way.
Good.
And then again, Lexi and I had another experience.
Yes.
Affiliated.
So I had a really good experience with a boss who still is my current boss, and she was very, very people-centered, people-first type of approach to everything. So it was very encouraging because we were putting our customers first, but she was also putting us first as employees. And she was basically like, she was almost as if it was our friend. Mm-hmm. And like that connection, it wasn't like separate and like work, you had to be professional and completely like cut off from your other like relationships, I guess. And so she was very focused on team building, and we had like a very good team because of that.
Yeah, and I think I had similar stuff where it's people focused, you know, like if you can't build the relationships within the team, it's not gonna be able to move upwards and outwards. So I think that coach that I had in the musical setting, and music is emotional, so I think he really recognizes that if we can't build the connections as a team, we're not going to be able to make whatever project work. Mm-hmm. So he was very good at the check-ins, like noticing how we were feeling, just saying like, hey, I'm noticing this, like, do you want to talk? And we also did a lot of team building exercises, like a lot of vocal exercises and silly things to create that glue in between us all.
Mm-hmm. So with graduation right around the corner, it has us reflecting on our entry into the field, our impact, and how we're going to be able to demonstrate this leadership.
So for me personally, in the future, how I want to demonstrate me as a leader, I really resonate with democratic leadership style.
Yeah.
I like the ability to make sure that everyone is treated as equal in a space and give people that opportunity to come up with fresh and new ideas and be able to support them through it. And it would be a little bit of that coaching as well. It would be a coaching democratic aspect for me.
For me, I have like 3 that I'm fighting against. I like the democratic, I like the coaching, I like the affiliative.
Yeah.
But I think the pieces of those 3, I like from the coaching, I really like the I'm there. Mm-hmm. I'm there, like if you need to come and talk, I'm here to tell you try this. I'm here to send you with something. Affiliative, I think, because I'm a very emotionally driven person. I recognize that, and I focus a lot on how do I connect with people. So I think I really want to build teams where we connect and everybody knows maybe their discomforts and what they excel at. I want to be able to make people feel like they're lifted and they can come back to each other. And then of course democratic, everybody has a say. Like projects work so much better when people feel like they had contributed something to it and they weren't told what to do.
Yeah, I agree.
I think mine, just because of the good experiences I've had, would be affiliative. I like the team dynamic and like the feeling like everyone is in a team together and you're all heard and understood. But I also feel like I could slightly be democratic because I like how that like you're hearing everybody's voice and it's like more kind of structured in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a mix between the two. And then just how I am as a person, I think that's how it would go.
Well, that's it.
So join us in our 39th episode where we might be in the closet or out. Tune in to find out.